Evelyn, The Weight of Will. Evelyn was 32 years old and lived in a quiet city in Canada. From outside, her life looked normal. She had a small house, a loving father, and enough money to survive. But inside her body and heart, Evelyn was fighting a silent war every single day. Evelyn loved food. Food was her happiness, her comfort, and her escape. She especially loved non-vegetarian food, fried chicken, burgers, bacon, sausages, creamy meat dishes, and late-night fast food. Whenever she felt sad, tired, lonely, or bored, food was always there for her. At first, food only made her happy. Later, it became her prison. Over the years, Evelyn's weight increased slowly, then suddenly. Medicines she had to take for a health condition made her gain even more fat. Her body stopped responding the way it used to. Her weight crossed 150 kilos, and every movement became painful. She could not walk properly. She could not climb stairs. She could not bathe without help. Even breathing felt heavy. Simple daily work, like wearing clothes, standing in the kitchen, or sitting on a chair, felt like a mountain to climb. People her age were enjoying life, traveling, laughing, and living freely. Evelyn watched them from her window or through her phone screen. She wanted that life too. But her body refused to cooperate. Her father, Mr. Thomas, was a strong man with a soft heart. He never judged Evelyn. He never blamed her. He only worried. Every morning, he helped her get up. Every night, he checked if she was comfortable. When Evelyn could no longer walk safely, her father built a wheelchair for her. It was simple, not perfect, but it came from love. When Evelyn first sat in the wheelchair, her heart broke. "This is not how I imagined my life," she whispered. Her father held her hand and said gently, "This is not the end, Evelyn. It's just a hard chapter." But the problems did not stop. Her skin developed infections. Her knees felt like they were on fire. Her back screamed in pain. Worst of all, people stared. Some looked with pity. Some looked with curiosity. Some looked with silent judgment. Evelyn stopped going outside. Loneliness became her closest friend. At night, when the house was quiet, Evelyn cried. She remembered the girl she once was, the girl who loved walking in parks, laughing with friends, dreaming of a future full of adventure. One night, while scrolling on her phone, she saw a video of a woman who had gone through weight loss surgery. The woman smiled, walked freely, and talked about getting her life back. For the first time in years, Evelyn felt hope. Maybe this could be my way, she thought. The next week, her father took her to a hospital to meet a doctor who specialized in weight loss surgery. The hospital smelled clean and cold. Evelyn felt nervous. She felt ashamed. She felt scared. The doctor was calm and serious. He checked her reports, her weight, her medical history. Then he looked at her eyes. "Surgery is not magic," the doctor said. "It is only a tool." Evelyn listened silently. "If you want surgery," he continued, "you must first prove your dedication." Her heart beat faster. "For 1 month," the doctor said, "you must prepare your body. You must walk as much as you can, even if it's slow. You must change your food to vegetarian. No junk food. No excuses." Evelyn swallowed hard. "I want to see your effort," the doctor said firmly. "If you show me discipline, then I will decide if you are ready." On the way home, Evelyn was quiet. 1 month. No non-veg. Walking with pain. It sounded impossible. That night, she looked at her wheelchair. She looked at her body. She looked at her father, who had sacrificed so much for her. She made a decision. I will try, she said softly. Not for surgery, but for my life. The next morning was the hardest. Her father helped her stand. Her legs shook. Pain rushed through her knees. She held onto the wall and took one small step. Then another. Then she collapsed into the chair, sweating and crying. But she smiled. I walked, she said. Even if it was only a few steps. Food was another battle. Vegetarian food felt boring at first. No meat. No oil. No fast food. Just vegetables, lentils, fruits, and water. Her mind screamed. Her body begged. But she remembered the doctor's words, dedication. Every day, she walked a little more. 5 steps became 10. 10 became 20. She used the wheelchair less and less inside the house. Her father cheered for every small victory. You're stronger than yesterday, he told her every night. Some days were terrible. Her legs hurt badly. Her mood was dark. She wanted to quit. One evening, she broke down. I can't do this, she cried. It's too hard. Her father sat beside her and said, You are already doing it. Pain means change. Slowly, changes began to appear. Her breathing improved. Her swelling reduced. Her weight started dropping slowly, but surely. More important than weight, her confidence returned. After 1 month, Evelyn returned to the doctor. She was scared again. The doctor checked her reports. He looked at her weight. He looked at her walk. Then he smiled. I can see your effort, he said. You did not wait for surgery to save you. You started saving yourself. Evelyn's eyes filled with tears. You are ready, the doctor said. We will schedule the surgery. For the first time in years, Evelyn felt proud of herself. The surgery was not the end of her struggle, but it was the beginning of her rebirth. She knew the road ahead was still long. She knew discipline would always be needed. But she also knew something important now. Her body had limits. But her will did not. And for the first time, Evelyn was not surviving life. She was preparing to live it. Evelyn, The Weight of Will, Part 2, after the surgery. The day of the surgery arrived quietly. There were no celebrations, no loud words, only silence and deep breaths. Evelyn sat in her wheelchair in the hospital room, wearing a loose gown. Her hands were cold, and her heart was beating fast. Her father stood beside her, holding her hand tightly. Are you scared? He asked softly. Yes, Evelyn replied honestly. But I am more scared of staying the same. The doctor entered the room and explained everything once again. The surgery would not be easy. Recovery would be slow. Pain would come. Discipline would be required every day. This surgery will help your body, the doctor said, but your mind must help you more. Evelyn nodded. She was taken to the operation room. The bright lights, the smell of medicine, the quiet movement of nurses, everything felt unreal. As the anesthesia took effect, Evelyn closed her eyes. In her mind, she saw herself walking freely, smiling, breathing without pain. Then everything went dark. When Evelyn opened her eyes, she was in pain. Her stomach hurt. Her throat felt dry. Her body felt weak and heavy, but different, lighter in a strange way. The surgery was successful. But success came with suffering. The first few days were extremely hard. Evelyn could not eat solid food, only liquids. Even water had to be taken slowly, sip by sip. Her body rejected food sometimes. She felt nausea, dizziness, and sharp pain. Tears rolled down her cheeks many times, especially at night. "I did this to myself," she whispered once. But her father never left her side. "You did this for yourself," he corrected gently. Walking again after surgery felt like learning to walk for the first time. Her legs were weak, and her balance was poor. Every step felt dangerous. But she remembered the month before surgery. She remembered the pain she survived. So she stood up. 1 step. 2 steps. Then rest. The doctors and nurses encouraged her, but they also warned her. "No shortcuts," they said. "No cheating." When Evelyn returned home, a new life began. Her house felt different now. The wheelchair was still there, but it was no longer her only support. She used it less each day. Food was now medicine. Small portions. No sugar. No junk. Mostly vegetarian. She missed her old favorite foods deeply. Sometimes the smell of fried meat from outside made her cry. But she chose control over comfort. Every morning, Evelyn followed a routine. Wake up. Drink warm water. Slow walking inside the house. Light stretching. Healthy meals. Some days she felt strong. Some days she felt broken. Her body was changing fast, and her mind struggled to accept it. Her skin became loose. Her energy went up and down. Her emotions became sensitive. One night, she looked at herself in the mirror and felt confused. "I don't recognize myself," she said. Her father stood behind her. "You are meeting yourself again," he said. After a long time, weeks passed. Evelyn started walking outside the house. At first, only a few minutes. Then 10. Then 20. She felt the cold Canadian air on her face. She felt the ground under her feet. She felt alive. People still looked at her, but now their looks were different. Some smiled. Some nodded. Some were inspired. But Evelyn no longer lived for their eyes. She lived for her breath. After 3 months, Evelyn went back to the doctor for a checkup. The numbers shocked her. She had lost a large amount of weight. Her blood pressure improved. Her sugar levels were normal. Her joints felt less pressure. The doctor looked proud. "You respected the process," he said. "That is rare." Evelyn smiled, but her journey was not over. There were dark days too. One evening, she slipped slightly while walking and fell. It was not serious, but it scared her deeply. Old fear returned. "What if I fail?" she cried. "What if I go back?" Her father hugged her tightly. "Progress is not straight," he said. "It moves forward with small falls." Slowly, Evelyn started doing more things alone. She bathed without help. She cooked simple meals. She cleaned her room. Each small act felt like a victory. She also started helping others online. She shared her story honestly, without filters, without lies. She talked about pain. She talked about cravings. She talked about fear. People listened. Some thanked her. Some said her story saved them. For the first time, Evelyn felt useful beyond her own struggle. 1 year after surgery, Evelyn stood in the same park she once watched from her phone. She was not perfect. She was not fully healed. But she was free enough. She walked slowly, smiling at the sky. Her father watched her from a bench, tears in his eyes. "You did it," he said. Evelyn shook her head. "No," she replied softly. "I am still doing it." That night, Evelyn wrote in her diary, "I lost weight, but I gained courage. I lost comfort, but I gained life. This body once trapped me. Now it carries me forward." Her journey was not about becoming thin. It was about becoming strong. And this time, nothing could take that strength away. Evelyn, The Weight of Will, Part 3, Learning to Live Again. After 1 year, Evelyn's life looked very different, but inside, many battles were still going on. Her body was lighter, but her mind was still learning. People often think weight loss surgery ends the struggle. For Evelyn, it only changed the type of struggle. She could walk now. She could climb stairs slowly. She could bathe, cook, and dress on her own. But confidence did not come as fast as weight loss. Sometimes, when Evelyn went outside, she felt strange. For years, she was invisible or judged. Now people noticed her differently. Some were kind. Some were curious. Some asked painful questions. "You look amazing. How much weight did you lose? What surgery did you do? Why didn't you do this earlier?" Each question touched an old wound. One day, while shopping for clothes, Evelyn stood in a changing room holding a smaller size dress. Her hands trembled. "What if this doesn't fit?" she thought. When she wore it and looked in the mirror, she froze. The woman looking back was thinner, but her eyes still carried years of pain. She sat down and cried quietly. "I changed my body," she whispered, "but my heart is still healing." That day, Evelyn understood something important. Healing is not only physical. Healing is emotional. Healing takes time. She decided to work on her mind the same way she worked on her body. Evelyn started therapy. At first, she felt shy talking about her feelings. But slowly, she opened up about food addiction, loneliness, shame, and fear of failure. The therapist once asked, "Who are you without food?" The question stayed in Evelyn's mind for many days. She realized she had used food to hide from pain, stress, and sadness. Now that food was no longer her escape, emotions came strongly. Some days were heavy. On those days, Evelyn did not quit. She walked. She wrote. She breathed. She learned a new habit, listening to her body instead of fighting it. Her father noticed the change. "You smile differently now," he said one morning. Evelyn smiled back. "Because I'm not running from myself anymore." Evelyn also began volunteering at a local support group for people struggling with obesity and health problems. She did not speak like a hero. She spoke like a survivor. She told them the truth. Surgery is not easy. Discipline is painful. You will feel lonely sometimes. But she also told them, "You are worth the effort." People connected with her honesty. Some cried. Some found hope. Some started their own journeys. Helping others gave Evelyn a new purpose. For the first time, she felt proud of her past, not ashamed. One evening, while attending a community event, Evelyn met someone new. His name was Daniel. He was kind, patient, and calm. He listened more than he spoke. They talked about books, life, and struggles. Evelyn did not hide her story. She did not try to impress him. "This is me," she said honestly. Daniel smiled. "Then this is who I want to know." It scared her. Love always scared her. What if he leaves? What if I change again? But this time, Evelyn did not run. She learned something important. She did not need to be perfect to be loved. As months passed, Evelyn continued improving, not rushing, not forcing. Some days she ate too little. Some days she felt tired. Some days old habits whispered. But she answered those whispers with strength. "I choose myself," she said again and again. One day, Evelyn donated the wheelchair her father had built. She touched it gently before letting it go. "This carried me when I couldn't," she said softly. "Now I carry myself." Her father watched silently, proud beyond words. 2 years after surgery, Evelyn stood at the top of a small hill during a morning walk. The view was wide and beautiful. The wind touched her face. She remembered the woman who once could not stand without pain. Tears filled her eyes, not from sadness, but gratitude. "I am still here," she said. "And I am still becoming." Evelyn's story was never about weight. It was about courage. It was about patience. It was about choosing life again and again. And this time, her future was not heavy. It was open. End of Evelyn's story, for now. Evelyn, The Weight of Will, Part 4, Becoming More Than Survival. Life did not suddenly become perfect for Evelyn. But it became possible. After 2 years, Evelyn felt something new growing inside her, not just strength, but direction. For a long time, her life was only about surviving the day, managing pain, and fighting her body. Now she wanted more. She wanted meaning. One morning, while drinking her warm water and looking outside at the quiet Canadian street, Evelyn asked herself a question she had never dared to ask before. What do I want to do with my life? The answer did not come immediately. But one thing felt clear: she wanted to help people like herself. Not by giving lectures, but by walking beside them. She enrolled in a short online course about health coaching and emotional wellness. Studying again felt strange at first. Her concentration was weak, and fear of failure returned. What if I can't do this? She thought. But then she remembered learning to walk again after surgery. If she could do that, she could learn again. She studied slowly. Some days she read only 2 pages. Some days she cried because her mind felt tired. But she did not quit. Her father watched her late-night study sessions and smiled. "You're building a future," he said. Evelyn nodded. One step at a time. At the same time, her relationship with Daniel deepened. He walked with her in the evenings, listened to her fears, and respected her boundaries. He never pushed her to be faster or stronger than she was. But love also brought new fears. One day, while eating at a cafe, Evelyn suddenly felt panic. She looked at the food on her plate and old thoughts rushed back. What if I lose control again? What if I gain weight? What if he leaves? Her hands shook. Daniel noticed. "Hey," he said softly, "you're here with me. Not in the past." She told him everything that night: her fear of relapse, her shame, her nightmares about returning to the wheelchair. Daniel listened quietly, then said something she never forgot. "You didn't just lose weight, Evelyn. You learned how to stand up after falling. Even if you fall again, you know the way back. Those words stayed with her. Still, there were hard days. Winter came, and with it, loneliness and darkness. Evelyn's body felt slower. Motivation dropped. Some mornings, she did not want to walk. Some nights, she craved old comfort foods badly. One evening, she overate and cried afterward. I failed, she whispered. But instead of punishing herself, Evelyn did something new. She forgave herself. The next day, she walked again. She ate carefully again. She continued. That was growth. After completing her course, Evelyn started working part-time with a local wellness center. She spoke to people struggling with weight, pain, and self-hate. She did not wear perfect clothes or hide her scars. She showed them truth. I am not healed forever, she said. I choose healing every day. People trusted her. Her voice mattered now. 1 year later, the wellness center offered her a full-time role. It was not a big salary, but it was honest work. Work that made her feel alive. That night, she hugged her father tightly. I'm standing on my own, she said, crying. He held her and replied, You always were. You just needed time to see it. On her birthday, Evelyn climbed a small mountain trail with Daniel and her father. It was slow. It was tiring. But she reached the top. She looked at the wide sky and felt peace. I used to think my body was my enemy, she said. Now I know it was asking for help. As the sun set, Daniel took her hand. Whatever comes next, he said, we face it together. Evelyn smiled, not because life was easy, but because she was ready. She was no longer the woman trapped by weight. She was no longer the woman surviving pain. She was a woman choosing her life every single day. And this time, the future did not scare her. It welcomed her. Evelyn, The Weight of Will, Part 5, Full Circle. Time moved gently now. Not rushing. Not pushing. Just flowing. 3 years had passed since Evelyn's surgery. Her life was no longer about fighting her body every day. The struggle had not disappeared, but it had softened. It had become something she understood. Evelyn and Daniel decided to get married. The decision was not sudden. It came slowly, built on trust, honesty, and patience. Evelyn was afraid at first, not of marriage, but of depending on someone again. I don't want to lose myself, she told Daniel one night. Daniel held her hands and replied, You found yourself. I'm not here to take that away. I'm here to walk beside you. That was enough. They planned a small wedding. No big hall. No heavy decorations. Just close people, open sky, and true smiles. On the wedding day, Evelyn stood in front of the mirror, wearing a simple white dress. It fit her body, not the body she once hated, but the body that had carried her through pain, discipline, and rebirth. She touched the scars on her stomach gently. These are not marks of weakness, she whispered. They are proof that I survived. Her father stood at the door, watching her with tear-filled eyes. You look strong, he said. Evelyn smiled. Because you taught me how. When she walked down the aisle, she walked slowly but with confidence. Every step carried years of struggle and strength. Daniel waited, his eyes full of respect, not expectation. As they exchanged vows, Evelyn spoke from her heart. I promise to choose life, she said. Even on hard days. Especially on hard days. After the wedding, life changed again, but this time, gently. Evelyn moved into a new home with Daniel. For the first time, she lived away from her father. The goodbye was emotional, but peaceful. "I'm not leaving you," she said. "I'm growing." Her father hugged her tightly. "That's all I ever wanted." Evelyn continued her work at the wellness center. She started writing about her journey, her failures, her healing. Her words reached people far beyond her city. Some wrote to her saying, "I thought my life was over. You gave me courage." Evelyn answered every message with honesty. "Change is slow," she wrote. But slow does not mean impossible. One evening, while cleaning the house, Evelyn found something in a corner of the storage room. The old wheelchair. She sat beside it for a long time. This chair had carried her when she could not carry herself. It had been part of her darkest days and her survival. The next day, she donated it to a rehabilitation center. She placed her hand on it one last time. "Thank you," she whispered. Years later, Evelyn stood in the same hospital where her journey had truly begun. She was there as a guest speaker now, not a patient. She looked at the nervous faces in the room and saw her old self in them. "I am not here to promise you an easy life," she said. "I am here to tell you that you are stronger than you think." Her voice did not shake, because it no longer needed to. That night, Evelyn walked outside with Daniel. The air was cool. The city lights were soft. She took a deep breath and smiled. "I used to measure my life by my weight," she said. "Now I measure it by my courage." Daniel smiled back. "You always had it," he said. Evelyn shook her head gently. "No," she replied. "I built it." And in that moment, Evelyn understood. Her story was never about food, never about surgery, never about weight. It was about choosing herself again and again. And she would keep choosing. Always.